Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breezeway Productions' The Breeze. And we are continuing our coverage of this year's Sundance Film Festival. And I'm very excited for our guest today. There is a film that is screening at Sundance this year called The Affected. We have director and co writer Rike Gregersen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the show. Where are you
Yes.
calling in from
Okay.
today?
I'm in Oslo, Norway.
But now I'm coming from New York, which is where we're doing this broadcast. So I'm happy to do a interview across the world, so to say. So tell us a little bit about your official selection this year, The Affected.
Yeah, so The Affected is basically a short film that is one situation inside an aircraft where a female activist is trying um, to stop the deportation of Afghan man on the plane that is going to be deported. And the way she does that is by refusing to sit down. And that turns into kind of a political issue for both the passengers on the flight and also the crew.
Yeah, it's a very exciting film. Once I saw like the trailer for it, I said that this is going to be really, really cool. And it reminded me of what people would see on social media of a perspective of what's going on a plane, someone going crazy, getting thrown off a plane, and situations that occur. And this was a showcase of it in a film and how the chain reaction starts around it. So I thought it was great, and I was curious about the concept creation. How did it come about where you said that this was something that you wanted to make a movie on?
Yeah, well, it's kind of based on a true story, or probably lots of stories that are
Yeah.
similar, but one particular in Sweden, where a girl filmed herself while doing this, trying to stop the deportation, and
Oh,
she was live streaming it on social media while doing it. But we could only see her face, nothing that was going on around her, and it got me really curious, like kind of what kind of conversations would have happened, like behind the scenes, like in a situation like that. So I started speculating about that a bit, and that turned out to this short film.
yeah. It was very exciting, and to hear people's point of views and how an escalation of a situation happened, and the way that the pilot handled it versus how the rest of the crew would have handled it. I was curious when you were looking at your characters and their political views of how to handle this situation. Where did you go when you were looking to really define each of them? The captain, the co-pilot, the stewardess, the other people, things like that.
I think a bit just like in myself, I think it's all the kind of different personalities I feel like I have in myself. Like I can totally relate a bit to everyone in that film, and also think that everyone is pretty awful. And I'm kind of trying to paint like a picture of society, especially maybe Scandinavian society as a whole, with this film. I think it's a very typical Scandinavian thing, if not to everyone, to be kind of having a clear idea on how you would react in a certain situation. But once you're in it, it may turn out pretty differently. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it was very volatile of someone being deported and then someone protesting against that, which really holds up the flight. Some people were annoyed; they just want to get out of there, so it's a quick time decision, and it's all very fast paced to see how things unfold. In real time, do you think that is that how the situation played out on in the true story? So
uh, it was pretty fast. I think the film is like 20 minutes or so, but she's probably a bit far in when she starts off.
okay,
Um, uh, but I wanted it to have like the feeling of being pretty much real time, and like also visually. I have tried to be kind of a fly on the wall perspective and having a framing that could be similar to someone like doing a sneak film of someone. Yeah, so I think I definitely try to capture that feeling of it being
yeah.
real time.
Yeah, it was exciting. It all got very escalated very quickly. and then you see how quickly things happen from one person's consequences to another reaction. I find it interesting to see if countries, if that would actually, like, a country has a policy, and then because whoever is flying the plane decides to handle it one way, and then another thing happens, like what will happen to that person in the plane? Is that breaking any political boundaries? It's a pretty deep wormhole, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. And everything like an airport is such a like strict place where everything has like it's yeah it's only one way to to do it. So when something interferes with that kind of structure, like I think everything just falls apart.
Yeah, yeah. It certainly felt like that way, but then it happens to come together, then falls apart, then comes together again. It's just the temperature continues to go up. So I thought that that was a very cool aspect of the film. Again, the film is called The Affected. It was screening as an official selection of this year's Sundance Film Festival. And in closing, is there anything that you'd like to say to the Sundance Film Festival organization?
Well, of course, thanks so much for screening my film. It's been a real pleasure. And of course, I hope at some point I can come back and enjoy the festival in person. But I'm just so grateful. It's been a really wonderful experience.
Very nice, very nice. Is there anywhere people can go to check out the film? A website, social media, Facebook, something like that?
Yeah, it's still a bit in the festival run, so I'm holding it back for just a little while longer, but
For sure.
hopefully soon. It's been out for a while, so yeah, I think it's had its time soon.
For sure, for sure. Well, we'll showcase anything available in press materials, if it's stills or behind the scene or trailer. So that will be included in this video. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was an awesome film, The Affected. And again, director co-writer Rike Gregerson. Thank you so much for joining us today on The Breeze.
Thank you.